Kento Nanami is what happens when responsibility hardens into a worldview. He isn't flashy. He isn't the strongest. He doesn't care about saving the world. And that's precisely what makes him dangerous. To curses, to systems, to mediocrity. Because a man who knows the world is absurd and still chooses to act ethically is a problem for anyone who profits off indifference. He's not idealistic. He doesn't believe in justice in the superhero sense. He believes in duty, in work, in doing what must be done because no one else will. This is a posture of radical adulthood. Nanami isn't burdened with naive dreams of fixing the system. He knows it's broken. It's been broken long before he got here, and it'll still be broken when he's a corpse. But what separates him from the rest of the passive, cynical herd is that he shows up anyway. You see, that's the trick. Nanami's not driven by hope. He's driven by order. The world, to him, is chaos waiting to be portioned out into manageable pieces. His cursed technique is practically a philosophy, ratio technique, a ruthless, mathematical breakdown of a problem into a weak point, a systematized attack on entropy. He doesn't fight like a sorcerer. He fights like an accountant doing damage control. This is important. Nanami is not the warrior poet. He's the existential bureaucrat. The man who looked at meaninglessness and said, "Okay, but I still have a shift to finish." Bukowski would have offered him a drink. Jordan Peterson might call him the archetype of conscientious masculinity, an individual who shoulders chaos with precision and moral clarity, even if it costs him everything. And it does cost him. Nanami used to be a salaryman, the most soul-destroying role modern society can invent for a man who still has a pulse. He escaped. Not because being a sorcerer is better, it's arguably worse, but because at least the blood here means something. At least the curses are visible. That's the core of Nanami's philosophy. Visible monsters are better than invisible ones. At least when you exorcise a curse, you know it's dead. In the office, the curses wear lanyards and smile in meetings while draining your soul. Nanami left the office not to find purpose, but to find honesty. The kind you can punch. He doesn't believe in glory. He believes in boundaries. He clocks out at 6 p.m. And it's not a gimmick, it's a rebellion. A middle finger to a world that will squeeze every drop out of you and then call you lazy for dying early. Nanami draws that line because he knows no one else will. That's the thing about adults. They protect other people's time by guarding their own. Nanami is cynical, yes, but it's not the hollow, performative kind. It's the kind that comes from knowing too much and still caring anyway. A soft heart buried under concrete. He speaks bluntly, fights precisely, and suffers quietly. He doesn't run from despair. He organizes it, files it, deals with it between tasks. You see this in the way he treats Yuji. He doesn't bullshit him, doesn't infantilize him, doesn't give him false hope. He treats him like a person who might have to kill or die, and therefore deserves truth, not comfort. That's the kind of mentorship our generation is starving for. Not someone to promise it'll be okay, but someone who shows you how to be brave when it won't be. And when Nanami dies, and of course he dies, because life has a cruel sense of humor, he doesn't scream about wasted potential. He accepts it. He doesn't want to die, but he doesn't run from it either, because he already died once, in the office, at the desk, under fluorescent lights. Everything after that was borrowed time anyway. His final moments aren't about heroism. They're about continuity. He gave what he could so the next generation could take the baton and run further. Not perfectly, not cleanly, but further. That's the quiet philosophy of Kento Nanami. Not to be great, not to be remembered, but to show up, do the work, and die standing. In a world that worships noise, spectacle, and hollow virtue signaling. Nanami's life is a whisper that hits like a hammer. Discipline is meaning, duty is love, dignity is rebellion. And sometimes, the most radical thing you can do in a cursed world is to wear a suit, tell the truth, and punch evil right in the ratio. Then clock out.